Good morning. Welcome to another one-mind meditation. Our teacher this week is Lao Tzu. And his message for us today is a beautiful analogy with water. So I'll get right into it. I really love Lao Tzu's analogies involving water as a very descriptive illustration of how in the battle between the stream and the rock, the stream always wins. Not through strength, but perseverance. And the essence of today's message is how we tap into this source of strength. Linda, good morning. Stefan, good morning. Sunwadi, good morning. Sarah, good morning. And Danae, a very good morning to all of you. Right, let's dive into Lao Tzu's message for us today. He says, the softest things in the world overcome the hardest things in the world. He says, in the world there is nothing more submissive, nothing more weak, nothing softer than water. Yet, for attacking that which is hard and strong, nothing can surpass it. He says, nothing is softer and more flexible than water, yet nothing can resist it. Now one more thought, and there'll be more just now. Water is the softest thing, yet it can penetrate mountains and earth. This shows clearly the principle of softness overcoming hardness. Gray, a very good morning. It's so good to see you. Pat, good morning. Hello. Awesome having you here. So how do we harness this gentleness that is so obviously saturated with relentless power? How do we learn from that? How do we embody some of the essence of water? And Lao Tzu answers this question quite clearly. Karen, a very good evening to you. It's always so good to see you pop into the live session. Lao Tzu says, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. And he says, have patience, wait until the mud settles. Wait until the water is clear. Remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself. The answer is really not a secret. But this is still so misunderstood that it almost seems true to say the secret is surrender. Surrender means to stop splashing in your pond, take a step back and just breathe. Surrender means to first just observe, just watch until the water settles and clarity appears. Surrender is not an attempt to escape, but the firm decision to stand in front of the truth in clarity, just as it is. Surrender comes with the willingness to take action on clarity when it becomes visible. Surrender means nothing if it doesn't include being surrendered to what needs to get done. Surrender is not giving up, but releasing the need to control, softening the urge to resist. Surrender is not passivity. It is actively observing, waiting for clarity to emerge like sediment settling at the bottom of a muddy pond. It is the courage to face truth, however uncomfortable, and the commitment to take action based on that newfound understanding. We can learn to live in a gentler way and find ourselves surprised that this journey turns us into the strongest version of ourselves that we've ever been. Our meditation today is called Surrender, and it makes use of this analogy with water. If you're ready, let's go there. Let's close our eyes, take a few big breaths, and slip away. Here we go. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your own full body breathing, rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale, consider your breath while you are breathing. It's no wonder that for thousands of years, breath has been used as the central tool for things like meditating. Just focus on your breath. You've heard that so many times. Or when someone feels anxious, the advice is often take a few big breaths. And it is because breath is a regulator of our nervous system and an amazing teacher. Consider your inhale. The strength you feel in air flowing into your body, your lungs filling up, filling the balloon in your belly, and feeling yourself rise. It feels strong. It feels like there is power there. Would you agree? Focus on inhale again. Feel the rise. Feel the expansion, feel the strength, feel the power. One of the messages that society teaches us, our environment teaches us, is lean into strength, be strong. Iron sharpens iron. And in most of our life, we forget softness. We want to only walk around with layers of armor, strong, stiff, rigid bodies, ready to defend ourselves against the world. But breath teaches us that there's another side to this. Because of only leaning into strong, if that was a reality, then we could take our breath and say, inhale is better than exhale, strong is better than soft. So from now on, I will just inhale, I'll never exhale again. Clearly, it doesn't work that way. Breath teaches balance. It says, there must be softness too. So now feel your exhale. As you breathe out, don't just feel softness, don't just feel softness enter your body, but embrace softness entering your body. Can you lean into the softness as much as just now you leaned into the strength? Can you allow your body to shrink a little bit? Become shorter for a moment. Collapse even. Yes, surrender. Surrender to the softness that enters your body on every exhale. And it quickly becomes clear that this surrender leads to the next inhale, the next rise, the next show of strength. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles. Forward and to the left, and also forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left and also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a really good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and feel softness slip in and settle in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, test out the word surrender. Say it to yourself a few more times. Feel it in your mouth and bring it into your body. What does it feel like in your body when you repeat the word surrender? Take your next big breath. I want you to bring to your mind an example from your own life as recently as possible, and if you don't find it recently, search back further, of yourself being triggered by something or someone. And if you have such an example, find an example where the triggering really was big and it felt like a slippery slope. It felt like you could easily slip down the rabbit hole. Take your next big breath. In this analogy, we're looking at the kind of things that cause a storm in our pond. The kind of trigger that makes your inner world feel stormy. And the image of a pond really helps us visualize what happens when we feel ourselves in this storm. Imagine you're standing in a pond with the bottom half of your body submerged underwater. And often, just like a trigger creates a storm within me, in this analogy, that might look like the water in my pond becoming unsettled. Could you find that in your example? How being triggered starts off an agitation in the water of your pond? Take your next big breath. When we get triggered and the water in our pond becomes agitated, we almost always lose our sense of clarity, because mud and silt get stirred up from the bottom of the pond, and while maybe a moment ago I could see where to place my foot next, suddenly I can't see the bottom of the pond anymore. I can't see where to place my foot next. And sometimes, in an example like this, a trigger turns into full-blown fear. Because I don't know what to do and it doesn't look like it's going to get better. Can you relate that to some of your own experiences of being triggered? Take your next big breath. Being triggered or experiencing fear often makes us feel like we should do something. And in this analogy, standing in a pond with the water already wavy and choppy, doing something often looks like moving our arms and legs in this water to try and make the situation change. In other words, doing something out of being triggered or doing something because we feel scared most often just leads to splashing in our pond. And you can see how this works, right? You can see that the moment you start splashing in your pond, the storm in your pond doesn't get better, it gets worse. Can you relate that to some of your own experiences with being triggered and feeling like I have to react to this? How in the world inside you, in the storm inside of you, it doesn't get better, it only gets worse. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to look at yourself in the middle of the storm in your pond and say to yourself, we're going to stop splashing. Help yourself climb out of this pond and stand on the side or sit on the side. Tell yourself to breathe. While you're looking at the pond, tell yourself to wait and watch. Take your next big breath. Do you have the patience to wait for the water to settle? Because sometimes it settles rather quickly, and at other times it takes a considerable amount of time. And that might be something to do with how big the storm was in our pond. If we caught ourselves just as the water became agitated, then we might see a result quickly. But if, and this is very human, if we've been splashing for ages, it might take quite a while for the water to really settle. And the first normally is the surface. Goes from wavy to choppy to smooth. And on this smooth surface, when you look at you, it doesn't look the same as it did when you look at your own reflection in the middle of a storm. In the middle of the storm, when we look down at our reflection, we see something that is broken and fractured. And already gripped in fear, we often look at this image staring back and think, this is who I am. This broken and fractured thing. And it only makes us splash more. But now on this calm surface, you see something that is a lot more true. You see something a lot closer to the real you. And below the surface, as the mud settles, the bottom becomes clear again. Clarity returns. And you can gently step into the pond again and gently place your foot firmly another step forward. Because the truth is, surrender is not an escape. Surrender means nothing if it doesn't include being surrendered to taking the next step as soon as it's clear. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Can you see yourself taking another step in a pond that has more clarity now? Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness settles in your body. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Lao Tzu says, have patience. Wait until the mud settles and the water is clear. Remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself. Surrender is not an attempt to escape. Surrender is not an attempt to avoid reality. Surrender means to stop splashing in your pond, take a step back, and just breathe. Surrender means to stop trying to control and first just observe, just watch until the water settles and clarity appears. Surrender is not an attempt to escape, but the firm decision to stand in front of the truth in clarity just as it is. Surrender comes with the willingness to take action on clarity when it becomes available. Surrender means nothing if it doesn't include being surrendered to what needs to get done. We are having a human experience right now. And in this human experience, it's likely that as we slip back into the pond that is now clear, as we take the next step and the next step, it is quite possible that at some point we stir up mud again. And being human, it's very likely that we don't catch ourselves quickly enough. We might not have built the awareness yet that sees the start of the mud swirling. And our need to survive urges us to do something, and we start splashing. Take your time with this. Remind yourself that when you realize what's happening in your pond, sometimes it happens the instant the first mud starts swirling, and sometimes it happens days after. But when you realize that you're splashing in your pond, you'll get out and breathe and wait. And you'll get better at this. You get better at catching it sooner and sooner. But remember this, when you realize you've been splashing in your pond and you choose to first beat yourself up over repeating the same mistake, you can see that you're just creating more splashing. You will get better at this. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in Thank you for this very clear image of me splashing in my pond. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for seeing clearly how I am getting better at catching this splashing sooner. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for developing the patience to just breathe and wait until clarity appears. Take a deep breath in. And thank you too for learning to not beat myself up when I realize I've made the same mistake. Because then I'm not splashing less, I'm splashing more. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for jumping in and also out of today's pond with us. Hey Charlene, good morning. It's awesome seeing you. Hi Anne-Marie, good morning. Very good to see you too. Thank you, Grain. Marcella, hello, a very good morning. Vivian, so good to see you pop in with us as well. Hello. Thank you, somebody. That's a cool comment. I don't think we can take that shortcut. I don't think chlorine would just help. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Danae. Have an awesome day, everybody. I hope your pond is relatively clear today. But if it's not, if your pond is stormy today, see it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to practice. Have a great day. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.